Yo, what's up, everybody? We are finally rounding the corner of our main quest adventure toward Castle Llugwych. Oh no, it's called Castle Llugwich. It's in Llugwych. And yeah, we've spent a lot of time. Oh, look, a hostile group of foes. We've spent a lot of time on the road. That was intentional to take a break from the main quest some, while also giving us some direction toward the next step in the main quest, which I have found to be pretty pleasing. It was a nice break from the same old, same old. Oh, look at that little campsite here for us to run amok in. Yeah, there's kind of a lot of enemies here. Let's go ahead and mount our horse, and we've seen a campsite like this before, but I'm still going to go ahead and stop and see what we can do. Like, how many of our rogues here could we possibly pacify, if any? Looks like we've got a couple. But yeah, I've been itching to play some Daggerfall, and it's been hard to find the time. So I'm gonna see how much we can get done today. I would love nothing more than to make it all the way to Castle Llugwych and through the dungeon if possible. But that's a pretty tall ask. I keep calling it Castle Llugwych. I don't know when I'll stop. But we do need to do some preparation on the way. We have very few, like, cure... Oh, okay. I thought that might have been a map. We have very few cure poisons, which is... it's a little dicey. We have potions of sorry. We have potions of purification. Or curification, I guess, if you would. But I don't know. There's something about using a valuable potion like that I'm just immediately averse to. But it's flexible enough to be helpful whenever you're poisoned or diseased. At least that's what I've concluded, based on its previous performance and stuff like that. Some more healing would be nice, because we've gotten into some tough fights with all the dragonlings, and we had a little kerfuffle with an ancient vampire in the last episode. Which was, it was nice to see that we could handle one. Okay, this hunter's upset at me for scaring away all the deer. Sorry about that, bud. By the way, I ditched that little black vest. Like, I just couldn't do it. I felt like it looked a little goofy. Yeah, let's go ahead and drop it. We can do the armband. Maybe hold on, let's give it a second try. Wait, you can't wear the armbands and the black vest. All right, then we're definitely ditching the black vest. That's the breaks right there. What about this? Yeah, let's go for it. And let's eat some food if we can. Nope, not hungry enough, so all this food's gonna go bad probably. But yeah, it's just, it's been a pretty good week for me. It's been a very slow week at work, which is, oh, hold up, what did we pass by? It's kind of weird whenever I have slow weeks at work. Like, it feels like something's wrong. I have so much time to just, like, do whatever I want, and it doesn't feel right. Like I said last week, or in the previous episode, it almost makes me get complacent whenever I don't have a bunch of work piled up in front of me. And so whenever I'm complacent like that, I get frustrated whenever I do have work to do, which is obviously not how things should go. It's maybe that's a personal problem with just like how I respond to it, but yeah. Oh, look, this guy got pacified finally. Let's go like hold down this high ground with this guy. Do we have a bow that we can equip? Silver and elven. I believe we want to break the silver bow before the elven one, so let's use that. Yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer that we don't have a material better than elven for what we're doing, but that's appropriate for Bogard, since the archery should not be our focus. It is an option, but you know, it makes sense that our gauntlets are of a higher quality than the bow. This is pretty fun. Just kind of pretending like tactics matter here by holding down the high ground and using ranged options instead of charging these folks. It doesn't really matter. We're not playing StarCraft Brood War and setting up tanks on the high ground or anything like that. Oh, look, it's getting challenged here. Sometimes high ground in Daggerfall matters, like whenever you can actually, like, you know, if you've seen this series so far, you know how much I adore, like, kicking enemies off of high places. Really satisfying, but outside of that, it's a pretty unimportant thing to look out for. So one of the Daggerfall mods it allows ranged options for enemies, but these enemies that have ranged options, they don't always have, they almost never have a bow or arrows with them, so that's a little bit annoying. It'd be cool to have the option to, you know, restock. Hey, who's... Oh, I thought we had gotten all of them, but it looks like we missed one. Got the jump on me some. Yeah, it'd be cool to be able to scavenge arrows from these enemies who are shooting you with arrows. I guess the headcanon, though, is like they're always using the last one. Every time you've like killed one, they've just used their last arrow. Oh man, you just barely missed it. Yeah, I'm sure that's likely. We're getting some free gems here. I wonder... I guess it was a malachite, a jade, and some aquamarine. Pretty cool. Although we're so... Okay, I thought we were richer than this, but I guess we spent it in the last episode. We're pretty wealthy, though. The next thing to save up for is ebony gauntlets, or whatever the step up from what we have is. What do we have? Mithril? Yeah, we need adamantium and then ebony to get the full satisfaction of crawling our way through the, you know, level up options here. Oh, man. I just wanted a kind of quick rest here by the campfire. What is... It's nighttime. Oh, look. We have some Will of the Wisps here all of a sudden. Do you think it's worth it to stick around and see what they actually do? Like, we've fought ancient vampires before and stuff like this. Like, surely we are tough enough to handle whatever these enemies can throw at us. I'm tired of running. If I regret it, then I regret it. Let's be ready to run, though. Let's, you know, use the sugar lumps and bring the... You know, horse close to us. But yeah, we're gonna light our lantern and go out there and see what these things actually are. Right? It's really far out in the distance, though. Oh, they're actually fighting some orcs. Oh, the cold air is numbing me. Let me back away from the fight and put on my cloak real quick. Here it goes. Yeah, man, what do you do? Oh, it died. So maybe we don't learn about it this time. Alright, is that all of them? Yeah, okay, so the Will-o'-the-Wisps killed the orc, or the band of orcs. We killed the Will-o'-the-Wisp. Now we can, I guess, just... No, that... Still the sound of metal ringing out nearby. Oh yeah, this is a tough orc. Found my buddy. I thought it was a tough orc. Man, the orc sergeant barely put a dent in us with that attack. Are you good, buddy? Do you want to travel with us by any chance? Dude, they're all sneering at me whenever I ask them to travel. Like, I didn't think the Bogard was that obnoxious. Whatever. It's pretty suitable for him to be a sort of lone wolf type. But it would be cool to have one person that tags along, even just to be cannon fodder. You know what I mean? All right, look at this. We're getting endurance and strength to level 100 in this level up at the same time, so that's pretty cool. What should we focus on next? Obviously, we want speed to be at 100, but once we're there, I don't know. We were just complaining about personality, so we could increase that. Willpower for resisting magic is nice, but also like on a flavor level. The older and wiser you get, perhaps the more determined you get and the more willful you become. So we're gonna do 1 point of willpower, 1 point of speed, and 1 point of luck. The longer I hold off on getting speed to 100, the more relevant my items that buff my speed are. Which is perhaps a stupid reason to delay that, but I want those items to be relevant, and I've kind of missed the boat on that so far. Alright, well, I'm going to say some parting words to my buddy here, and set off. Even though I think it's still nighttime, it's okay with me. I'm going to go toward town of Llugwych over here. But yeah, it's been a slow week at work, kind of making me complacent, but it's nice. I shouldn't complain about it because we've had so many periods of my team recently where we're just like chomping at the bit trying to stay afloat. So I should enjoy the break from that rather than act like it's a problem of some sort. All right, we made it to Llugwych. have y'all watched the Olympics at all this week? I typically, I feel like I have this urge that I should pay attention to it because it's like a, global cultural thing, and then I never pay attention to it. But my interest in that volleyball anime has made me kind of educated about how volleyball works, and so I've been watching some of the different volleyball that they offer or that they have. It's strange though, the difference between playing on a team of 6 and playing on a team of 2 for beach volleyball is pretty astonishing there. The people that play beach volleyball, like the 2v2s, are like really impressive. The fact that they just have to be, one person's at the net and the other one is responsible for the entire court, like besides the net, that's pretty crazy to me. And apparently America is pretty good. Like, they know what they're doing with volleyball, and so I'm usually not very patriotic, but it is cool to see your team succeeding, and yeah, having people to root for. Those I've been watching most of the beach volleyball, and like my wife and I have been watching women's beach volleyball, and they really kick ass. Those two, that Nuss and Clothe, I think their names are. The men's volleyball is really cool too, but like it's like really intimidating. I don't know how they keep up with what's going on there. But yeah, I know that there's some sort of controversy surrounding the Olympics. I don't know why, and I hope I don't learn. It's like I love being in a position to not give a single crap about what's going on, and I don't want to jeopardize that for anything. All right, we found a couple of alchemists in this town, which is good because we really could use some more potions of healing before we get to it. Okay, slow falling is good to have. Oh, cure poison. And 2 purification. Like, they're expensive and all of that, but purification does it all. It cures it restores your health. It cures poison and disease. There's a heal true. This is a really good alchemist. We might not need to make many more stops after this one, which is pretty sweet. All right, so we got pretty good haul of potions from these alchemists, including a couple of purification, heal true, cure poison. So we're already feeling a bit better. Some more healing would be great, but I noticed that there's a thieves guild in this town. There might even be a fighters guild, but I think this would be a good time to drop by, and we're not going to do that thing that we did in the last 2 places, Dania and Anticlair, where we stop and get like all the guild quests that we can and stuff like that. We're pretty close to the main quest target, but let's go ahead and get some training while we can. Every time I get training from the Thieves Guild, it seems like such a crucial inflection point. Like, do I get lockpicking so that I can get more loot and stuff from dungeons? Or do I get dodging so that this is just straight up survivability, which is very important. We do want to not die, and we've gotten lockpicking most recently. Let's go ahead and get some dodging going on. Yeah. 1,200 gold. It's pretty expensive, but I'm fine with that. Alright, I guess now we just go to the next town. Maybe we stop by a tavern and get some food and drink. Yeah. Alright, maybe get a couple of ales actually and hit the road. Alright, cool, yeah, I guess we just go over to the next city now. Really glad that tinkering with the mod setup has allowed me to do overland travel regularly again. Feel super rewarded from that. Yeah, I think last time I was talking a bit about the Brothers Karamazov, because that's the book I'm reading, and it's really, I don't know, every time I read it, again, it kind of blows me away in a new capacity each time. But I've gotten past the scene where everybody's hanging out at the monastery, so it's a little less religiously charged right now, and it's more about, I don't know if you've read much Russian literature before, but this 19th century Russian literature stuff, it often involves interaction between people of the noble classes. Oh, dude, look at that. Did I just quick save? Because I fell through the... Yeah, okay. I fell through the map super fast right there. Okay. Just reloaded the save because I fell through the map right after talking about how like excited I am that the installation's going well, so gotta love it. But yeah, whenever I was talking about the scene where in the monastery of sorry. Let's just hope I cut some stuff out and start here. Anyway, last time whenever I was describing the Brothers Karamazov and the scenes in the monastery where they're kind of talking about theology and the kingdom of God and socialism and stuff like that, I pointed out that one atheist character calls the one other character's argument for the kind of integration of church and state, because he says that the state should all become like the church and this is a depiction of the kingdom of God. One atheist is like, hey, that's pretty much socialism, you know. I thought that, I mean, I think I explained that, but didn't point out why that was significant to me when reading it. But if you're unaware, whenever the Bolsheviks took power in Russia in the 1910s, like they had a revolution in 1911, which was not whenever the Bolsheviks came to power, but it was instead when basically everyone agreed that the empire should not exist as it is, and there was I think it was an attempt at a coup with no clear party that would grab power afterward. It might be called like the Peasant Revolt or something like that, or I could be getting that mixed up with a different nation. Found an encounter here. Oh man, the cold seeping through my bones. I should have paid attention to this. Anyway, let's go ahead, go further down the road, and then we'll set up camp or something. I don't feel like fighting them while I'm in the middle of talking. Anyway, whenever the Bolsheviks took power, they, in the second revolution that occurred after years and years of people not really knowing what the next system of governance would look like, the Bolsheviks being one of the many socialist Marxist groups at the time, if I remember correctly, they had a really, really large, probably the most dense concentration of like Christian martyrdom, or Christians being murdered, imprisoned, and exiled or tortured and things of that nature that you'd ever see, because at least in, you know how the American Civil War is described as the bloodiest war in America? It's kind of because the only people affected by the war were Americans, right? And in this case, many people in Russia, like the peasantry and things like this, were Christians, if not in a devout capacity, then just because that's their heritage. And so those that chose to stay devout, you know, it was pretty brutal for them. So that's why it stood out as strange to me whenever reading Dostoevsky, which was like, I don't know, anywhere from 30 to 60 years before that, all that persecution happened. Like, I don't care to look it up right now, but this was all written before all those events had precipitated like that. And so it's interesting to hear that character talk about the kingdom of God as a socialist organization, so to speak. Not an organization, but a structure. And yeah, I think that there are quite a few people in like Christianity who are kind of hermits and such, who, due to the teachings of radical generosity in the Gospels, they kind of had views that were not that different from what we would call socialism. So it's just tricky because the history and the relationship between socialism and Christianity has been so bloody and violent to kind of see those ideas overlap like that. The book is still really, really interesting after they leave the monastery. There's just so much hatred and spite in this family that has, like, perhaps what's relevant is that while it's talking about the brothers Karamazov, and in book one, the father is present too, the mothers are not in the picture at any capacity. And so maybe a fundamental flaw about why this family is so messed up is that the father never had like a loving relationship. He was only driven by lust, and the mothers died pretty early on in the boys' lives. And so it's like this whole family trying to get by without any presence of a mother is like really, really, it has a cataclysmic impact, it seems like, at least in this case. It's such a good read though, and I'm glad that I've been somewhat successful in integrating a regular reading schedule. It's a good thing to do at night whenever I'm like getting ready to sleep. But I've been a little bit frustrated this week because even when I feel like I'm doing everything right and I'm like reading and not playing video games, I'm taking a break from technology and social media and things like that, and I'm just reading for like an hour or two or however long it is, like I'll often still not be able to fall asleep after that, and I feel like so cheated. I'm like, bro, what the hell? I did everything correctly, and my brain still ceases to, or still continues to, you know, fire off with its electrical signals through my synapses and things like that, or whatever the technical terms are. My brain is still going, and it's really frustrating. It makes me wonder, like, well, dang, why am I not just playing video games in this time frame then? So we'll see what kind of balance I can strike with that. I don't think that returning to blue light sources whenever you can't sleep is ever really a good idea, but it is the idea that I land on sometimes just out of pure frustration with the situation. It's like, well, I've already forfeited that I'm gonna have like a pretty rough night, or I'm gonna be tired tomorrow, so I might as well go and take care of it, right? Besides that, I've been kind of trying to fast from technology in general, so to speak. Like, I'm really upset with how much time I spend distracting myself with technology, and I can feel the impact that having the constant distraction has on my ability to like meditate throughout the day. You know what I mean? If the moment that I feel that I'm bored, or like that I'm not stimulated enough, I'll reach for my phone and start to, I don't know, check on Discord, or I'll scroll through Instagram for a second. And I don't really think that's a healthy pattern for you to have. Like a pattern as in like something that your brain does repeatedly. I mean, like, it's the moment that I'm bored. If I'm working and I have a loading screen that takes 2 seconds, by the time half a second has passed, I have unlocked my phone and gone toward, like, you know, something to look at or something to do. Or like you go to the restroom and like, boom, let's do something with your phone. It's just I don't really think it's a very yeah, I don't know. By constantly seeking stimulation and yeah, this is another alchemist, so we got both of them here. By constantly seeking stimulation and distraction whenever we are bored, we are replacing the time that our brain would spend being bored with stimulation. That's obvious. That boredom, though, is a good thing. The boredom is where we accidentally find some meditation, you know. Otherwise, like, you don't have to sit cross-legged and say or whatever, or like have any sort of mantra to meditate. Meditation finds you throughout the day in these periods between tasks, whenever basically you're bored, and that's a good thing to have. This is also how you would overcome writer's block. In my case, many times, is you allow yourself to be bored, and the meditation that finds you during those times will guide whatever you're writing on. You know, it's just, we often are so interested in staying up to date with our hobbies and this YouTube channel and this like page, that we don't give our brain the breathing room to meditate and like unwind and nourish itself as we constantly would before we had smartphones or video games and things like that. And I can barely speak to what life was like in that regard, by the way. Like, I was born in 1995, so video games have been present in my life basically all the time, and I held off on getting a smartphone for a really, really long time, until I simply wanted Spotify access all the time, basically. But yeah, it's hard to live without a smartphone these days. I'm not trying to sound like a boomer at all. I'm just trying to talk about our relationship with technology and the way it impacts our brain. Yeah, that pattern of being where the boredom leads to getting your phone out, it's just not something I think we should really be as complacent about, and yet it's so difficult to do anything about. It really is. I'm trying to get rid of these cloaks that are like breaking on me just so they're not in my inventory. Okay. Should probably check to like get a new cloak before going into the wilderness, but we're so close. We're so close to actually going to the dungeon that I don't think it's that much of an issue. To take a break from the discussion of technology and talk about the game for a second, one thing to point out is we have the option to use a potion of teleport right now, and that would make it so that if we need to retreat from the dungeon, it's pretty easy. Like, we would just... to take a break from the discussion of technology for a second and talk about the game at hand, we have a choice about our potions right now, or our anchor. We currently have an anchor all the way here in Coegria. So if we run into danger and we have to use a potion of teleport, we would end up all the way back in Coegria. Now, the time limit on this quest is huge, so, like, how long do we have? We still have 267 days left, even after meandering for so long. Like, I don't think that that's really going to be part of the an issue for us. What would be annoying, though, is, like, as Bogard, I would not want to have to go across all of these provinces again. Picture how long this Let's Play series would be if I if I stopped in... We had a Cambria arc, a Dwynn arc, a Phrygius arc. I don't know. It wouldn't be that bad, but I want to stay a bit focused. And the fact that I have a little bit of foreknowledge about the kind of enemies we're going to find here, it makes me want to just go ahead and leave a potion of teleport. Yeah, let's go ahead and leave our anchor. It's more than likely that we have to dip at some point. Potion of... Yeah, go ahead and set the anchor. Bogard has acquired a taste, I think, for these things, because I misclicked so often that he probably just likes the way these potions taste, right? Pretty funny joke from the comment section there. Come on, how do I delete it? It doesn't matter. Anchor. Ecolon. Alright, okay. Finally remembered how to delete that from the notification there. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and set sail, so to speak, toward Castle Ecolon, which is... No, Castle Llugwich. Dang. Yeah, we're going to be fighting with some vampires in here, so they are quite likely to pop off a sleep spell on us. I have some pretty good strategies for avoiding the sleep spell, but I don't want to risk actually being hit by one and not, like, having a... Like, I don't want to have to think about transporting all the way to Coegria. It'd be great to just retreat to Ecolon and just be a 2 hours drive away from the dungeon, so to speak. So, by the way, this is the first time I'm arriving in at Castle Llugwich with it not being covered in snow. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm always here during the winter, and this is a pretty cool scene. I like that you can see the ravens out there in the sky, or the hawks behind it. The summer rain is like drenching the place. It's a pretty cool aesthetic. It's an alternate to what we are used to. I don't know. It's really neat. Anyway, yeah, I guess I'll talk more about Brothers Karamazov later if I need to. But yeah, focus on the dungeon at hand. All right, Castle Llugwich. This is one of my favorites for some reason. Found some free arrows here. All right, already fist fighting some skeletons. Man, we are pretty dang high level. I think after this, no, I'm not gonna make more plans. We'll just see how it goes. Oh, hello. Yeah, this entry room has statues lining the place. It kind of makes it feel sort of ominous, like an ancient temple or something. I don't know. This room with the blue glass or marble beneath it is also pretty interesting. I like this statue. It looks like it could be a Daedric prince of some sort, or maybe it's an orc warlord, but we're pretty far from Orsinium. I don't know, but he looks badass. Okay, if I remember correctly, these are just dead ends, but the dead ends that had a person behind it, that's kind of funny. Just locked up in his room. I guess he didn't want to fight the orc or the skeleton. This guy's a knight. Okay, we're up to 50 arrows, which is basically too much. Not too much. I don't want to pick up any more arrows, is what I mean. Okay, I don't think it's worth it to break down that door. It's obviously just a closet. But yeah, I don't know my way exactly around this dungeon, but there are huge chunks of it that have like a it just feels familiar to you once you get there. Maybe you'll see what I mean. But these big open chambers with the marble floors are pretty indicative of that we're in the right spot. I mean, we haven't had time to get lost or anything like that. Just, you know, Castle Llugwich has its little specific vibe. I really like it. Okay, we were just fumbling around on all these locks over here, so we're not even going to try to get into these doors. Oh man, that... I was pretty scared of that mage's spell there, but it barely did anything. Let's see if we have... We're not hungry, okay. It does not say that we're invigorated, though. We should try to eat an apple. Yeah. Let's get invigorated by that apple. Yeah, I feel like we're almost over-leveled because of how much we've dirtled. Like, how much I've just, like, taken my time and stopped at every single dungeon we come across. That's just how you play Daggerfall, though, right? So how would I have done anything else? That's just how I play Daggerfall, not how you play Daggerfall. That's how Daggerfall is played, one could say. I guess I should be talking to these people, at least trying to engage in dialogue, but I'm just so focused on getting in here and going as fast as possible. I don't think that brick wall is a teleporter, no. I should backtrack some. Oh no, I feel somewhat bad. I wonder if that's from a disease or poison. Okay, that's poison. Alright. There's one potion of cure poison down the drain already. Alright, we got a bunch of thieves fighting rats in this dungeon. This dungeon has it all, I guess. I was expecting more undead from this place. But so far we've fought animals, we've fought humanoids that are etiquette and streetwise types. We have fought some undead, and I think we saw an orc also, right? This is pretty bizarre. Yeah, we're already pretty low on health and stamina, so I'm gonna go backtrack and oh, hello. Get some rest going. Something cool is I have Monday and Tuesday off of work for some reason. It's like I just have an abundance of PTO, and so I'm like, let's get a 4-day weekend going. So I'm like running out the clock here on my lunch break about you know, I'll be home free pretty soon, so to, you know, just have the whole weekend and then some in front of me. It's a really good feeling. I'll definitely be able to get some climbing done. Yeah, it's really cool. And then that whole week after you have a late start like that is just gravy, you know? Almost nothing there. Okay, we're all the way back in this marble hall. We're gonna... Did I already heal myself? I think I already... Yeah, I did, right? No diseases or anything like that. It would have been nice to pick up some more stylish boots before coming here. Like, oh, I was about to say like some of the fur boots, but honestly, it's not that hot. I mean, not that cold, so maybe that would have been overkill. Okay, so we went back to our healing spot. Let's just go straight instead of returning to where we've gone before. Kind of take alternate paths and map out the world that way. Map out the map, I guess. It's an elevator. Let's hit that switch and step back. Okay. It seems kind of early for an elevator. What's up here? Like we just got here. Oh, look. Wow. This is a huge mob. We're going to have to yeah, we're going to use our bow to try to thin out their numbers some if we can and create a choke point here at the door. My goodness, like they haven't noticed. It almost feels dirty. Like yeah, this is weird. Why aren't they noticing? Hey, come on, y'all. It's like, I don't want to fight you. Like, I do kind of like the advantage of the choke point. Maybe we will retreat to the choke point if we have to. Yeah, this warlord and the sergeants have just such a mob with them. Oh, you know what? We need to equip some of our bonus speed here. No, Torgo. Yeah, Torgo's Challenger straps. Yeah, let's go fast. Yeah, this is like whenever we were fighting all the knights, whenever that farm was getting raided. Yeah, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, Orc Warlord is down, the rest is chump change. Look at all this, like, it seems like they took over this strategy room, right? There's papers lying everywhere, and it doesn't seem like an orc would belong in this room necessarily. I don't know. I know that they have political power in Orsinium thanks to Gortwog, but we're in Ecolon. I wouldn't think that they would, like, have built this or anything like that. They definitely seem like marauders here. But yeah, this is such a cool chamber. I've always liked it. I didn't even need to use the choke point. We're not cowards like that. We'll just go in and guns a-blazing, mow them all down. And we still have health to spare. I was a little bit sketched out whenever we were fighting the warlord there. Let's go ahead and, I guess rather than going back to the first campfire, we can, we will set up a camp of our own among all the dead. And we'll leave the door open in case anybody wants to come challenge us. Whenever they just see one person sleeping in a room that has all the dead orcs in it, like, okay, come fight me if you want. Try to stick a knife in my neck if you want. Yeah, Bogard is, I think he's as strong as he will need to be, but of course the thought of, you remember fighting the ancient Lich that one time? We actually did not do that well. And I think that's because of Mudex or meaner monsters. Those high-level enemies have just really, really good like attack rating, and they're hard to hit, even at a high level of your weapon skills. So, yeah, this is the... We already have a new checkpoint just from going one room further, so let's go ahead and move further. The fact that we are already in these chambers makes me feel like we're on the right track. So maybe I remember the pathway, like the passage more here than I give myself credit for. Alright, doing some Daggerfall climbing to accentuate my IRL climbing. Yeah, I went after work yesterday, really had a blast because a lot of the routes had changed since I was last there. So a lot of fun to try new things. I did some really difficult routes that took a few attempts, but nothing serious. I'd mostly just like to go there to substitute my normal workout regimen just because climbing is such a blast. So if I can skip a workout day at home and climb instead, like, oh man, okay. We're going to do Purification this time, because she poisoned me, and I was pretty low on health. Okay, where do we go next? I guess we can use a Potion of Seeking to inform our decision. Let's fire that off, and start roaming around some. Oh, here's all the dead rats that we were getting notifications about. Or did we kill these? I think we might be backtracking. Yeah, definitely. Whoa. Southeast and higher. Okay, so southeast is roughly this direction, and we need to go higher up. Is this the... This is the chamber that has the campfire. Hold up. Okay, so I went up the elevator. I reached this room. I went through upward. I'm kind of connecting with the other path that we started with from down here. So I don't think that going in this particular, through these rooms actually has an impact on how close you get, because, yeah, because we just regrouped with the other path, it seems like. And we want to go southeast and higher, though. It's pretty interesting. Alright, well, let's go check it out. Yeah, this all feels familiar. Yeah, we'll just run past that rat for now. Yeah, I bet we can ignore most enemies while this potion is going and simply run in the direction. We don't want to go downward necessarily. Okay, this was southeast, so this is like roughly the right elevation. Just southeast of about this elevation. Southeast would be that way. Is there a way to turn right up here? If not, I don't know, man. Yeah, we're able to move so fast that I don't know if it's worth... Yeah, we're not going to fight these guys. Maybe we go back to that place that went downward, and it'll come back up for us. Gotta make sure to not sprint around that corner, though. Okay, yeah, this is southeast higher as well. Oops. What was that? Oh, okay. Just humanoids. Excuse me, coming through. Okay. This is southeast higher, man. It's, yeah, I guess that makes sense given how we've moved on the map. We haven't actually moved very far yet. Oh, okay. This is east. Whoa. I'm hearing laughter. That's pretty scary. Where was the laughter coming from? Did I kill these people or did they die before me? Where's that laughter coming from? And is that a danger seducer? Maybe a nymph? Okay. It says southeast and higher. Man, I'm kind of nervous about what we're going to find. Here's a kind of flooded corridor. Oh, you know what's wacky? What if we find some, what are they called? Lamias? Lamia? The aquatic creature that's super rare. I don't know how the rarity is affected by removing the level scaling, but this Lamia, it would only appear, if assuming that's what we're finding here, at a very particular range, like level range here. I wonder if that's who we are. I really shouldn't be going under. Yeah, look, there she is. Yeah, it's pretty much the least likely enemy type for you to find in Daggerfall right there. We just witnessed. Probably a bad idea to stick around down here though, so we're just gonna hustle. I don't think this is the right way or anything like that. Like, obviously they want us to go higher, so this is not the way. Yeah, it's telling us that our clothes and such are drenched. Yeah, there's no reason to poke around in here further. It's just a cool area. I like whenever parts of the dungeon are submerged like this. If it's only the hallway that goes straight down into a submerged area, that's enough to get an eye roll out of me, but whenever like the hallway's like ankle deep water, that's pretty cool. Okay, we're gonna see if we... Hold on. It says the temperature is too extreme to rest, but I was trying to check if there are enemies nearby. Oh, I'm currently unwell, they say. Okay, do I know why I'm unwell? Nope. I don't know if we are diseased or poisoned, so this seems like a potion of purification moment to me. Got a fair amount of level ups from that, so that's cool. Let's get an idea of where we should try next. Do we leave our campfire here? Campfire, yeah, maybe. Come back to it if we need to. I am a bit curious about, like, what else was down there past the sunken corridor. I really doubt it's where we needed to go, though, so let's focus on going southeast and higher, basically, at all time. But we're backtracking every time I go that way, so... Remember to consult our map some instead of just wandering around based on instinct alone. I'm kind of, I feel like I'm decent at navigating these dungeons. I take some gamer pride in my sense of direction in them, but I'm we're so fast. Like, I'm moving around at breakneck speeds in here. It's a lot of fun, though. It really is. Whenever you get to this point where you have 100 speed and you're going around stomping on enemies, like low-level enemies like this, Daggerfall starts to feel kind of like Doom, and I like I like that a lot. Okay, we finally found some new ground to tread here. This looks like southeast higher. Oh, look, there's a warrior at the end of the hall with their conquered foes around them, a couple rats. We're just gonna miss them with a couple arrows and they're not gonna hear it. Man, they're not even putting up a fight. That felt pretty dirty, but it was an assassin. So fighting dirty against an assassin, I think, is a fair game. There we go. I should really try talking to some of them to... I don't want to get hit by any poison or anything like that. Alright. Southeast higher. Okay. Try to take another nap here. Alright, man. This is it's going pretty well. I was not expecting such weak opposition out of Castle Llugwich over here. I know we haven't really gotten to the hard part yet, but usually like a difficult dungeon will be completely stocked with difficult creatures, whereas I think it's pretty like it's loaded up at the end of this dungeon, if I remember correctly. But maybe this is just meaner monsters or moo decks replacing the tables of this dungeon. Monster tables. Alright. Oh, pretty close to wanting to use another potion of seeking. Dude, feeling somewhat bad again. They're really gonna burn me out of all these potions, aren't they? Cure poison. We should still have plenty. I think we've cured poison 3 times. Twice with cure poison potions, and once with a purification. Alright, well this was a firm dead end. Oh, hello. Got a little posse around here. Oh man, they're gonna poison the shit out of me. Let's finish fighting this little mob. Whoa, whoa, purification, purification, purification. These guys hit surprisingly hard. Oh, I bet they are being scaled to my level. Which would explain why they are hitting like a truck despite having such a huge HP pool. I was just looking over our character sheet to see like what level we are, max HP pool and stuff like that. It's pretty impressive for our stage in the quest. I think we're just gonna use another yeah, potion of seeking. Oh, no kidding. Southeast and higher. We must be in the wrong dungeon block altogether. Like, we haven't quite gotten to the right block yet. Southeast and higher. Everything is southeast higher. So we're eventually going to find something that connects us either to this next eastern block or the next southern block is what I'm guessing. Where will that be and what will it be is yet to be determined. But I should really be on the lookout for that. Alright, I guess we go through this connecting room. Okay. Hey, we're at a higher elevation now. And this seems to point... Yeah, let's go down this hallway. I feel good about that. Man, he's I feel somewhat bad. How are they rolling so well on their... Or I'm rolling so poorly on resisting their poison. Maybe I should be more, like, selective about how we approach. Okay. Was this it? I think we might have found the next dungeon block just now, so that's good. East and higher. Look at that. East, higher. Okay. Oh, hello. Yeah, don't have time to stop and play with every little bandit along the way. Come on. It's that's quoting a... Oh, dude, yes. I hear him. My silver longbow has broken just in time. You hear that? Oh, a gargoyle just died. Yeah, so we have a pretty tough enemy guarding the main quest item up here. Huh? I would actually rather fight that enemy than any more bandits with their dang... Okay, holy crap, dude, I slipped. Oh man, I got terrified. I was going to jump and do a dino where I grabbed the wall after jumping. I didn't grab the wall though, I just fell straight down. Gosh, I thought I was gonna die, honestly, just from fall damage. This is actually where I lost whenever I was doing a challenge run where I was playing just the default acrobat class. This is where I lost my Ironman run. So perhaps that's why Castle Llugwich has such like I don't know, it's very memorable for me as it was such a heartbreaking moment. But we are pretty well equipped for this situation. We're going to take a potion of resist shock and we're going to charge head on. Oh, I remember this door being hard to get through before, so perhaps I took it preemptively. Oh, here he is. Alright, come on, you bastard. You want to stay up close and personal, otherwise he might blast off the sleep spell. Come on. Okay, that's a pretty good hit on that he gave me, so let's do a potion of healing. Ah, dude, he's hitting me pretty well here. Another healing. Come on, come on. Okay, it's too close for comfort. Let's do a heal true. Come on. All right, we got the ancient vampire. That's awesome. Okay, before I proceed, I want to show you the strategy I used with the acrobat. This is where I learned to be so cautious with where I place my teleports, because I had the anchor for the acrobat outside of Castle Llugwich. So the idea is, let me go show you this part here. You see how there's an elevator on this side of the corridor also? I still think this might be a kind of fair strategy, if a bit frivolous, but I didn't want to fight the ancient vampire, right? So playing the weak acrobat character who's not fit for combat, I got through the door, I got the aggro from the vampire after triggering this, like both switches, and then I brought the ancient vampire this way, and I hopped down, and I went down below to navigate through this hallway, and was going to come up here and run through to get the item. The issue is, whenever I went all the way down to run across, I encountered a regular vampire who hit me with a sleep spell. And like I said, my anchor was not in anywhere safe. It was not in town, in a settlement where dropping due to exhaustion would keep you alive. You would just take kind of an hour-long rest. So I warped back to the start of the dungeon and died. So my evasive strategy, I think it was cool. It would have been really cool if it had worked out, but I misplayed and I lost. So yeah, the wounds from that are still kind of fresh on my mind, but what are you gonna do? The reason why I call that solution kind of frivolous is, like, this is one dungeon where you'll fight one ancient vampire, but every main quest dungeon after this seems to be full of enemies that are equally tough, so it didn't seem very... Like, it's good for this dungeon, but it would not help in the long run. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this. I don't know who I want to kill more, the person that could poison me or the person that could hit me with a sleep spell. Yeah, let's just kill this regular vampire next. One punch, awesome. We're gonna see if we can get any loot from all these chests. Hey, all right, potion of healing, that's good since we burned a couple. What are these paintings? Like, how would I use them? I don't really understand, but I'll grab them. Potion of stamina. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but I'll take it. Dang, it really would have paid off to get that lockpicking training. Oh, there's another one. Not that, like, we don't know if the dodging already helped us out. For all we know, we wouldn't have survived those previous encounters without the bonus dodging that we got from training, so... Well, you know what? I think we I think we're good to go, you know? I could navigate out of Castle Llugwych. Yeah, I think I will. Let's just go walk back. Again, took the fall damage instead of just using the elevator or something reasonable, whatever. Oh, dang. Yeah, I want to try to not get in any fights on the way back. Don't want to burn any more cures. Yeah. And we've used a lot of potions of cure poison in here, but it reminds me very fondly of a... whenever I used to run Ammomancy back in college, I had a sort of an institution in that setting was an item called Cure. TM is like a trademarked beverage that your character would carry around to heal themselves. Instead of rolling a die, I think we would roll like D10 or something like, or you'd have like, it could refill exactly 10 points of health, and you could take one sip to refill 1 point, or drink all of it to refill all 10, something like that. And it was like a highly sought beverage because it would like cure diseases and stuff like that too. And so, from a world building perspective, to allow the the masses or the main population to have it would be very powerful. And so naturally the government had very strict ties on cure TM, and was like a very pricey thing, even though in gameplay like it seemed to be pretty inconsequential. And there was a whole story arc about mages who would go around in the United States using magic without a license, which is you don't do that, you know. If you use a magic without a license, you're going to get apprehended and re-educated and forced to serve in like the United States military branch that uses magic. I called them like the Valkyries or something like that. Or you would be sent to a facility where they would like drain you of your essence, so to speak, and you'd kind of live as a prisoner without their magic anymore. Kind of like how Firelord Sozin in the Avatar gets done. Yeah, so as fate would have it, I'm trying to find my way back while I tell this story. As fate would have it, the cure.tm, or whatever you call it, was being fueled by the essence, I'm using air quotes because it's so mystical and vague, of these casters who were abducted and taken to a facility to have their stuff drained and then executed or held as prisoners. That was actually the fate of a player character who was a bit reckless and got themselves into a hot water and was arrested. Then we later on had to like go save her, I think. She was like dismembered, so her head ended up in one spot, her body ended up in another spot, and her spirit was somewhere else, and you had to go gather all three components to bring her back to life. It's pretty fun. Oh man, we were right there already. Okay, that was not a very... You know, all things considered, if you know where you're going, Castle Llugwych is pretty short. I clearly did not know where I was going, but it's pretty cool. Oh, wait, hold up. We were actually far below. I see now. Yeah, we have to go down. Dang it. All right, we're going to remember to remove our... Wait. Hold on. Yeah, here we are. We're going to make it a point to remove these magical challenger straps. Because we're going to travel. We already did so much overland travel. I think the Echelon arc, this whole arc that takes place on in High Rock for now, is pretty much wrapped up. Awkward thing is, like, our anchor is going to be way up here in Timbuktu, because I don't want to waste a potion by like using it now or setting up an anchor somewhere else. So unless there's a really pressing time concern, our anchor is just going to stay in Echelon up here. But you know, a long time ago, we were approached, so to speak, by the King of Worms to go follow up with him about another mission. Yeah, and even though we have just stolen a relic that belongs to the King of Worms, necromancers and such, I think this would be a fine time to go back to Scourge Barrow. Yeah. We still have like 200 days left to get back to our contact and Sentinel. Find. I'm trying to remember where Scourge Barrow is, because even though I plan on fast traveling there, it'd be cool to start at a nearby location and then travel overland to it. So the Fox and Scorpion Hostel is going to have to do it. Let's see if we can travel by inn. It's going to take 51 days. And we want... Hold on, I just remembered that I haven't taken a potion of cure disease yet. Let me roll. Even though it's like on an aesthetic level that I, the player, would like Bogard to be like a werebore, I think that would be pretty badass. Bogard certainly doesn't want to be any sort of lycanthrope or vampire. That means that we can't be picky about when we do the whole roll a die to see if we remember thing. Like, it has to be across the board. So odds are I remember to take the potion. Okay. We've had pretty weird luck with that. It's like it'll happen at the right time, I guess. Anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and get our fast travel on. We're going over yonder. Man, I lost it already. It's just on the map right here, right? Yeah. Alright, 51 days. We're gonna maybe have some of our ranks decrease in our affiliations or something like that, but that's okay. Look at that, our food is getting ripe. We carried some rotten meat with us the whole way. Oh, rotten bread too, great. And we still have like a bunch of loot. Yeah, it'd be cute if I had like a little subfolder that I could put all this stuff into, like a little sack. You ever play those RPGs like tabletop or otherwise, where you have a separate backpack for some inventory? It's really cool. That's how it is in Outward. You can toss down your backpack if it's starting to weigh you down and stuff like that. But just for organizational purposes, it's fine. Like if you're playing a tabletop game, yeah, it's really nice to have backpacks just to keep things a bit tidier for you and your character. Alright, well, I think we got rid of everything we need to get rid of. What's the temperature like? What's the season like? Okay, it's the 26th of mid-year, so I'm sure it's still hot. Wait, no, you should wear thicker clothes or a second cloak. It's because I'm in the mountains. I thought I was going to have the opposite problem, where I was going to be too hot. Well, let's see if just wearing a long sleeve shirt will help. I should probably wear shoes. Shoes keep people warm, I think. These are broken. Broken shoes. Yeah, shoes is broken. Shoes is busted, y'all. Alright. Well, this could be a pickle that we're in if we don't have any shoes on, but we'll see what we find in the dungeon. Oh, to have had the foresight to go to the town and restock before traveling a huge distance. I like to just kind of tell myself it's going to be fine and then see what happens. Let's get some coffee. That's nice. Really nice. Alright, my lantern's lit, so no way of getting warmer right now, right? Any footwear would be preferable to leaving your feet bare. I know! They broke in the dungeon, come on! Well, we're gonna see how far in the wilderness we make it without our shoes. It sucks because that means like for 50 days we've been traveling without shoes and Bogard hasn't been like, oh, I know, I should swing by the store and get shoes. So that's the difference whenever you're not crawling across the map like we did before. It would be interesting to see a playthrough. I'm sure one exists out there where someone only just goes over land like that, but you know, we would never finish the game, and I don't have that kind of time, so yeah, so the tricky thing about traveling over the land in this case is these mountains might kill us, so we'll see. I'm worried about, like, yeah, you see how I gain and lose altitude really quickly depending on the height of the mountains. Like, it would suck to just, like, get hit by fall damage out here. Spend time on a hunt? Yeah, sure. Okay, my arrow piece is the animal. We got some raw meat. That's good. Should we pull over and cook? I've been killed by hills before, and it's another sort of awkward movement thing that happens because of the quality of life improvements with Daggerfall Unity. Yeah, we have this overland travel, but if you were traveling overland in the game, you would be going through like, or if you lived in the world, I should say, you'd be going through valleys and lowlands in the mountains range. You know, you wouldn't just be going straight across every mountaintop you'd find. By the way, it looks like we found another encampment. We've seen quite a lot of these. I don't know if I'll pull over for every one, but in this case, like, I'm willing to kill somebody to get their shoes. It started sounding like, oh man, we need potions of cure poison, I forgot. We still have purification though, right? Wow. Well, okay, we have purification. All right, man. I thought I was kind of shit out of luck there. Let's see if this guy has boots on him. We might even not even have to fight like the whole posse if he just has boots on him. But we will kill as many as we have to. The atmosphere suddenly feels grim and the air cold. Why would it do that? Is there somebody here with us, thief lady? The horses. The horses are probably fine. Yeah, I don't know if finding any shoes here. Finding some chump change. I really don't need to pick up this gold though. I don't know. I guess I've gotten my cash down a bit, it looks like, so it's fine. I was thinking maybe the gold's a bit too heavy for us. But we'll always find room for gold, as long as our carry weight is not slowing us down. Well, this, I would trade all the gold in the world for a pair of boots right now, and we did not find any, so... Alright, we're gonna... Oh, yeah, it does seem like every time I move to that little area, it sounds like there's a dungeon nearby. Are we just that close to the dungeon that we're aiming at? A Scourge Barrow? Let's go check it out. You hear that? Yeah. Oh, look at this. It's probably just Scourge Barrow. I'm acting like it's something unexpected. I'm just so used to all this, like, serendipity where we're finding dungeons left and right while we travel. It's so satisfying. But Scourge Barrow, the regular, you know, place we were looking for, I'll take it. Maybe we'll find some shoes on a zombie or something down here. Alright, yeah, turn my headset up for this sick dungeon atmosphere. Damn, son, where'd you find this? You know, I could picture that playing before this soundtrack drops. Alright, these are normally... They really test your mettle in games that don't have the zombies. They really test your mettle if you don't have Moodex or meaner monsters installed. Like, if you're a new player playing Daggerfall for the first time, you round this corner and just see a couple zombies and you're like, oh, piece of cake. And then they're like, hit like a truck. Yeah, the meaner monsters mod nerfed that to make them more like a traditional, like, filler level enemy sort of monster. I'm gonna dropkick some bats right here. Okay, well, there we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I love the dropkicking aesthetic. Wouldn't Bogard make a cool professional wrestler? I wonder, y'all ever seen the movie The Wrestler it's directed by Darren Aronofsky. It's like sad and treacherous in a lot of ways, or not treacherous, but it's really sad and like, really gets into the humanity, the depravity of humanity several times, like Darren Aronofsky's movies always do. Anyway, that kind of subset of wrestlers that is like amateur hour, but it's still has the aesthetic of professional wrestling, makes me think that there may be a category of wrestling out there that like is actually dangerous and like real, air quotes. I don't know. Have y'all seen that movie? Is there a section of wrestling where they actually like hit each other with chairs really hard and see who wins? I think they talk about taking dives in that movie too, but still, it's weird to me how injured they got. All right. We made it to our boy, King of Worms again, so let's see what he's got for us. So feeling a bit nervous while I talk to the King of Worms because I have his the item that he's trying to protect in my pocket. it's kind of like, never mind. I'm not going to get into that. Bogard, I'm so glad you answered my letter. I hope my messenger was gentle. You have been a loyal servant in the past, not as loyal as the living dead, but far more versatile. My need involves the lowest depths of Castle Sentinel, and the reward is knowledge that only the dead can provide. Are you willing? Sign me up, Captain. Alright, how amusing. I'm looking for the answer to a question. It doesn't exist among the living, but may exist among the dead. I want you to bring me back the ghost of Prince Corlys, the great-grandfather of the late King Cameron of Sentinel. Corlys was a sorcerer of no mean skill. He is now a lich deep in the bowels of the castle. I'm giving you a special scarab, which is a kind of a primitive soul trap in this game. If it is close to him when you destroy the physical body, his soul will be trapped in the scarab. Bring it back to me and I will tell you a tale few mortals have heard. Yeah, I love that in the later games, I guess the soul traps exist in this game. Never mind, disregard that thought. But yeah, I guess you can kind of see why I wanted to make the stop by King of Worms before going to turn in our other quest. We're consolidating our errands here. So before finishing up one main quest objective, we are picking up yet another. And yeah, we'll go to talk to the Underking's agent right after this message from our sponsor. No, I'm just kidding, y'all. I ain't no sellout, I tell you. I'll take a little bit of ad revenue here or there, but I draw the line at pretending that, like, I need a sponsor. But never mind. Been wanting to test the waters with a bit like that for a while. Alright, me and my floating horse just gonna take off to Sentinel now. We actually need to go to somewhere pretty particular. Sometimes you'll panic whenever you're trying to go back to the Underking, the agent of the Underking, because it's not like listed in your quest logs. You have to go back to the parchment itself. Wait, what? Okay, I thought we had something new from Princess Morgaya, but that's the same old, same old. Come on. Okay. I wanted to make sure this is the right one. It's the Moorheart resident in the Savage Guard Inn in Sentinel. And so again, we're just gonna kind of zip on over there. Not Mirkwasa. Misclicked there. The Savage Guard Inn. Oh yeah, I remember that. It's kind of close to Sentinel itself. Alright, we're gonna again go to a nearby town instead of directly to the place. We're gonna let 23 days pass, so it's gonna be closer to autumn whenever we arrive, for what that's worth. Our food is getting a bit ripe. It's without fail that I'll always leave a little bit of uneaten food in my inventory before fast traveling, I guess. By the way, someone in a comment, like, I guess for my Q&A video, recommended that I should check out Far Cry 2 because in the Q&A video I talk a little bit about how it would be really cool if games let you have like physical interfacing with navigation rather than using a map. Well, whoops, gotta take off some clothing here and yet protect my skin. I'm gonna get into a pickle here too, but that's fine. You are healthy, dress lightly and cover up. All right, well, we'll strip down to our underwear and we will cover up with maybe a shirt. Yeah, we'll see what this does for me. This looks like a prefab, not a dungeon. I think I'm going to ignore this one for now. It's actually one I've probably already looted. Like, I just get the feeling that whenever I was traveling to the Savage Guard Inn previously, I went overland like this and found some stuff nearby to take care of. Getting some deja vu here. Yeah, I even seem to remember this lagoon out here. Oh man, the sun burns your bare legs. I have to wear pants. I have no choice. We live in a society, unfortunately. Yeah, look, there's that place that I hit up last time. The bandits lurking just on the edge of town. Okay, yeah, let's go check out our contact in here. Here she goes. Yeah, this has been pretty fun playing for two different teams in this this little arc. The Underking and the King of Worms, that is. Well done, Bogard. Let me cast this spell upon the dagger. There, the dagger is now safe, and it's yours to keep. Not even death can hide a true descendant of Tyre Septim from the Underking. King Lysandus did not die in the Battle of Kringane. He was slain by treachery before it. The monument to him in High Rock is an empty tomb. His remains were secretly taken to an ancient tomb in Menevia, which I will now reveal to you. I do not know who betrayed Lysandus, nor why his spirit haunts the city of Daggerfall and not the battlefield of Kringane. I have kept my part of the bargain, and you have earned the gratitude of the Underking. Alrighty. What this does, essentially, besides giving us information and a little magical item, is this it allows us to fast travel to the Lysandus tomb in the main quest dungeon in the Menevia region. Interestingly enough, I can't find the door out. Okay. Interestingly enough, you can still go to that dungeon's always there. You can always just waltz upon it. Do we use resist shot? Wait. Hold on. Where are we going next? We're going to Castle Sentinel. Yeah, you can just walk up to that main quest dungeon and go in if you feel like it. I think there is a certain item that you need from a different main quest thing, but this one puts it on the map. But yeah, as Adventure Art famously did in his Dark Knight playthrough, you know, there is a way to get to the dungeon even if you miss this quest line here. I'm trying to think of a way to stay safe from the heat, but this formal cloak is gonna be too hot for us. I mean, I could fast travel, but that feels like a cop-out. But everywhere I'm going, like, it's not an actual town. Alright, well, we are going to put on some clothes here. Yeah, let's put on our breeches. Don't we have one just casual pants? I thought they were called breeches. And we're going to use a potion of resist fire before fast traveling, and that's going to put my soul at ease. You know, it's going to tell me that, hey, you were out here at least giving Bogard something to hold him over until he gets to the next town where he can buy like a cloak or something. And we're going to fast travel to Lanisa, the town that's near Sentinel. And I guess this is where we are actually going to get the pants, or not the pants, the cloak. But we're here by the Mages Guild. We might as well... Oh man, the temperature's too extreme to rest. I was thinking of loitering, but it is sun's height in Sentinel, so the heat is going to be a real issue for us. But at least we have a lot of stuff marked on our map in Lanisa. This is a town we spent a lot of time in whenever we were doing our Sentinel arc previously. So it's pretty cool to be back. You know, we've changed a lot since then. We've grown a lot. I don't know if we've changed a lot actually. We've just our interests have grown much greater in scope. We got friends and enemies in high places, that sort of thing. Alright, we've got to find a clothing shop, though. This is getting ridiculous. Here we go. Ah, dude. Okay. It's locked, so we just got to kill some time in town. Can't be helped. Man, I got sidetracked previously, but I was talking about Far Cry 2 and how someone recommended it because yeah, in the comment section of my Q&A episodes, they talked about how Far Cry 2 might be up my alley because of what I said about wanting a game that allows for physical manipulation of like a compass and a map to get around. The hell. Okay, so we spent a night at the inn. Gonna hit up the shops as long as they are open, that sort of thing. Thank you. Give me some coffee. I love having coffee on the menu there. Oh, it's super late. Oh man, finally they opened the shop doors for us. This is a pretty cool interior. I feel like I haven't seen this kind of shop yet. Very, very nice. Okay, a casual cloak. That seems like something that we could use. Is that the color that we want? It's like a brown. Maybe. Something a bit darker. Nah. Oh, look, plain robes. I don't know if that's a good aesthetic for us, but we could see if it works. Like if it functions well in the desert, you know what I mean? We'll go ahead and buy some tall boots, some sandals, and some shoes while we're here. And we will put on the desert sandals. Let's go. We will take off that. Okay. Show us what you got. You can't go on much longer in this heat. My goodness. They dress lighter and cover up. Okay, so take off the breeches, but keep the... Yeah, no, it still says to dress more lightly. So, does it want me to take the gloves off? I'm not taking the gloves off. Let's see what happens when I take the gloves off. Gauntlets, I mean. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, wow. Okay, okay. I think that we've found the right setup for Bogard to travel in the desert. He's just gonna have his cloak and sandals on. That seems to be the best setup that we've found so far. I wonder if keeping the gauntlets on will have any impact, because it would be nice to keep them on if we can. Resist fire, great this time of the year. I forgot to use my Mace of Bashing on all the treasure chests in that dungeon. But they break all the valuables, or a lot of the valuables, so not like we're missing out on much. Yeah, the climates and calories reminds you to hop in a pool of water. Although monsters from the night, it might be preferable. Alright, alright. We'll think about it. Gonna hit a couple more alchemists before going back to Sentinel. Oh, yo, yo. That's a lot of stuff that I like to buy. Yeah. Alright. Let's do it. More cure poison would be nice, but purification is good too. It suggests to travel at night, but we would have to park our horse outside of town. Yeah, I got sidetracked trying to talk about this before, but in the Q&A episode, I mentioned how I wished more games would let you navigate using like a physical compass or a physical map, or basically limiting the player's knowledge to the character's knowledge in that moment. So somebody recommended Far Cry 2, and they're like, it's a game that you've never played on your channel. Like, the genre is not very similar to what you see here, but you still might like it, that sort of thing. I've actually never played any Far Cry games. They've never really interested me necessarily. Not that I know much about them. I own Far Cry Primal on the PS4 for whatever reason. I guess I was just out and about and I felt like buying it. I never really played much of it. Like, the aesthetic of those kinds of games have always turned me off a little bit. But I was reading some reviews because Far Cry 2 on Steam it's listed as mixed. So I'm like, okay, why is that? Evidently, if you've come to the Far Cry 2 from a different game in this series, as I'm sure most people do, you're going to be kind of disappointed by how not like Far Cry it is. And as someone who has never been interested in Far Cry, that's good news for me, right? They just call it really immersive, and since the premise of Far Cry 2, as far as I understand, is like you're a hired gun who gets stuck in Africa in some war-torn part of the, I don't know what specific country, but evidently you have a chance of like getting malaria and things like that, and so that person has, they called it a running... driving malaria simulator, and I'm like, that sounds awesome. That sounds exactly up my alley. So I couldn't find that commenter to respond to them whenever I was digging through my channel's stuff a moment ago, but if you somehow land on this video, thank you for the recommendation. I pulled the trigger on it. I don't know when I'll have time to try it, but it'll at least be there in my Steam library waiting for me. And so we arrived back at Sentinel in the dead of night, and is there a better time than the dead of night for breaking into a palace and going to the dungeon beneath it? We've already seen this dungeon on this playthrough, actually. I just now remembered that we've been here just casually exploring before. But now we have a pretty decent reason to break in. This is actually pretty neat. We're showing up in the dead of night in the sort of commercial district, so to speak. Whenever I say so to speak like that, it sounds like soda speak, you know? It's like a Coca-Cola talking to you or something like that. My brain is constantly like in homophone mode, where it's constantly picking out connections between how things could be misunderstood. It's like such a huge multiplicity of meaning in language, and I would say especially in English, but I'm obviously like not educated enough in other languages to make that kind of claim. It's just how it seems to me. We didn't successfully pick any of the doors to alchemists going through the commercial district, but whatever. We have a pretty good amount of potions in here. And I don't think we even have a time limit for this quest. So if we have to if we had to disappear to Ecolon, like to warp out of this dungeon to get to survive, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Do we have to pick the doors, or do we just go in? Yeah, we just go in. Hot diggity. There, we are undependable, I mean, but we have worked with Prince Lotun and Queen Akorithi before, so I guess we're getting a pass. And here's the part where I'm going to take a potion of invisibility just for, I guess immersion, role-playing, whatever you want to call it. We're about to emerge from a corridor and then go into a forbidden, off-limits area, and so we should probably at least make an effort to be clandestine about this. These doors are going to open regardless, though, so, Okay. I still think I'm going to do it. I'll just pretend to not close the door as I leave, and then... there you have it. Acted like I ran into the wrong classroom for a second and ducked out, but didn't close the door, and now we'll slip past the guards. Dang. Am I in the wrong area? I'm pretty sure it's up here, but it might be below. This looks like it could be it, y'all. It's weird that this is taking me higher up, though. I would expect to go further down. And isn't it cute how in the default palace or the vanilla, I should say, vanilla palaces, they lack bedrooms and stuff like that. And something I always found as really fun in Oblivion is how cohesive the palaces and things like that. I guess you could say that about the later Elder Scrolls games in general, but I really enjoy playing thieves in Oblivion in particular, and slinking around the corridors and dodging guard patrols is just so cool. Anyway, yeah, we made it back to the dungeon part. I don't think that, our maps from our exploration from before is not saved on our map, but that's okay. Oblivion had some really special thievery. Looks like we got some wereboards here. This could be our fateful day. Let's go ahead and mark this as it's kind of a bad spot for a rest location, but you know what? It's a fire. Yeah, it's like in the middle of a corridor. In, I think, some old D&D games, the idea is the monsters would smell you. Oh no, I'm thinking about Arena, aren't I? Yeah. In Arena, you can only rest in raised areas off the side of the dungeon, or it's preferable to, I should say. So have a lower chance of wandering monsters and stuff. The idea being that the monsters can smell you better if you're not in an alcove of some sort, which is pretty interesting. You don't really think, because the player can't smell, it's hard to think in those terms. I wonder what kind of enemy this is. That was a rogue druid. We could try to pacify some of these. This is an interesting arc for Bogard, though, because we went from testing our metal against an ancient vampire to now testing our metal against a lich. I've been kind of holding off on accepting the King of Worms quest because I knew that it would be the Lich fight. But I feel like we are more than ready for a Lich fight, you know what I mean? I guess I could wear something a little less ridiculous now that I'm in the dungeon. Maybe put some pants on and take the cloak off. Let's leave our campfire here for a bit. Yeah, I'm trying to think of enemies tougher than the Lich. The Ancient Lich is a given. And some of the, like, Fire Daedra, Frost Daedra, probably a Dark Seducer. Oh, dude, hello. This horde is... I'm not gonna say it. Alright, get back. Dude, really... Alright, I took the Warlord down. The rest are gonna be, their morale is down, you know what I mean? And yet they stand their ground. We're gonna have a really... really bloody corridor at the end of this. Stomping on the fallen comrades as I kick the other ones down. Alright, look at that hallway of... hallway of slain enemies. You gotta love it, man. Orcish Right Pauldron. We're gonna be rich. That's great. Well, they actually put up a pretty good fight, so we're gonna go back to our handy-dandy campsite. Close the door. Get some rest. Alright, we've eaten some rations. We actually will need to watch our food supply some. Although I guess emerging from the dungeon takes us directly into the town, so it would not be that big of a deal. Can hear more wereboars. The lamp coming on? Did it come on? I filled it with oil. Okay, it is on, but you can't see anything in the center. It's a little weird. Oh, hello. So, our archery is not improving that much, because I don't... I don't fear anything now. So, I'm not really needing to keep stuff at bay, it seems like. Here's a free potion of purification. That's pretty great. Maybe we use the bow every now and then just to level up. Yeah, silver should be fine. Oh, it's broken. Been carrying a broken bow this whole time. Oh, look. I was talking about how I should keep my eye on our food supply. Completely forgetting that I had just kicked the teeth of a grizzly bear back here, so let's go ahead and put this guy to good use here. Alright. We will see how far in the dungeon we can make it before it's bedtime for your boy. This weird thing happened where my wife decided that she wanted to play video games. That's nothing super new, but it has an odd impact on my schedule because like time that we would spend like watching Haikyuu or something like that is instead like us playing video games in separate rooms, and it cool and all that, but it gives me time to record. But yeah, I'm just not used to it, I guess. Oh yeah, it's Horizon Zero Dawn, if you're wondering. She's already played the game. I told her that there's a sequel out there, but she does not seem interested in something new. She wants that good old experience that she had before that she misses so much, so I can't blame her for that. I'm all about my familiarity and reliving older games and things like that, clearly. Although with a game like Horizon Zero Dawn, I don't know, it seems like the more voice acting and cutscenes are involved, the less I would want to replay the game. That's must be just personal preference though, right? Because people play Metal Gear Solid over and over again, and that's like movie, the video game, you know, it's so many cutscenes. I think the Metal Gear Solid series has generally has about 50% of time dedicated to cutscenes. And that's not I'm not trying to count that as a fault. And there's obviously some variation as far as the player skill. It'll take longer if you're worse at the game. But that's just like a defining characteristic of Kojima games. I would actually really like to play. Death Stranding is called a walking simulator by some. I'm like, I can get behind that. I've never really been interested in Metal Gear Solid, even though it's a really good friend of mine. It's like his favorite series. And I like stealth games. Oh, dude, we got paralyzed. That's been a really long time since we've been paralyzed. Feels like. Or we got paralyzed before we just tanked it. I guess we could have done that now. Let's go ahead and pop a potion of seeking and see if we're in the right ballpark over here. Oh, we forgot to get the dagger identified. With the dagger, I know we don't use short blade or anything like that, but it would be cool for Bogard to have like a knife in his boot sort of thing. So having one dagger on us is not bad. And if it's like a cast on strike sort of thing, even better. Okay. I'm pretty sure we bought like 3 potions of seeking. Here we go. We don't have to fight every werebore that we find. There are plenty for us to find, it seems like. Maybe we'll just we'll practice our archery by giving some... Oh, south and lower, it says. South. Yeah, we could practice our archery by giving some parting blows to all these enemies as we run away. For some reason, I thought I heard a vampire or something. Ancient vampire. I think I'm just on edge. Okay. Well, this seems like a waste of my time. Hello. Let's go check this other corridor just to make sure. Like, I turned around. Okay, it says south lower again. Man. Does any of this connect to other passages, or is this all dead end? I think it's all dead end. Oh, dude, I'm just letting myself get hit by an orc warlord. Man, alright, let me just run away and let them sort this out. Yeah, I don't think that was taking me anywhere. Could be wrong, though. Oh, the werebore was... It looked like he was feasting on the grizzly bear. That's pretty cool. Okay, south lower still, so... This is a dead end? Yep. I think it would behoove us to rest right now, but I don't really want to rest with a bunch of orcs behind me. I'll just use a potion. I know that I was probably far enough away to rest right there, but yeah, it seems like a better thing to do to just not push it. So we found a straight way toward the south, but it takes us back to the entrance. Ish. Right? I'm a bit impatient just because it's my IRL time tonight is so limited. What if we just take another potion of seeking? Hello? Don't paralyze me. Okay. I guess I jinxed it. I don't want to... I was thinking about just tanking those attacks, but it seems like a waste of our potion of seeking to be stuck to one spot while the spell effect is going on. I don't feel like we're really going in the right direction, but could be wrong. Yeah, we're going south and down, so... Southeast and higher, he says. Whatever, man. Now we kind of have an idea of whereabouts in altitude it is, since we have a south lower, southeast higher sort of thing. Southeast and higher. Same thing. It's hard to tell, like, what is causing it to ping me with the directions? Because sometimes I won't get, like, a blurb from this potion for 2 or 3 minutes, and it'll just fizzle. And I just rounded a corner, and that's all it took for it to give me an update. It says southeast and higher, but I'm really curious about what's behind here. Absolutely nothing. Wait. I keep thinking that I'm hearing something. something I want to move toward to kill. Okay. Let's go check out down here anyway. I know we need to be moving higher up, but there's always a chance that it reconnects higher up. Okay, there. Oh, hello. Maybe I should save some ammo for the Lich. Like, maybe not just use all my arrows on the mobs, but I really want to fight the Lich with my fists, you know? I think Bogard can pull it off. It could be a bit presumptuous to say that. Famous last words, right? But we're just so strong, you know? We're like level 16, right? Level 16. Huge HP pool. What could possibly go wrong? We've never fought an enemy like this, though. Well, actually, we did fist fight that ancient vampire, ancient Lich for a while, so we have some idea of how we'd perform. Man, the weird thing is, like, yeah, I'm getting the feeling that we're not in the right dungeon block, because I don't see the puzzle that I usually associate with this quest. Let's get our bearings here. Southeast and higher. So we want to go around the southeast here. Southeast, southeast. Let's see if there's a way to a dungeon block to the southeast from here. It's hard to say. Oh man. I forgot about the war party out here. Or is this a separate one? This might be a different one. This one had 2 war leaders in it too. Oh, that's a sergeant actually. Yep, just playing some Doom over here. Gotta find the blue key. Okay. I guess we're pushing it. We really should just heal. Keep walking boldly into the face of danger. Like, not even using any resources or thinking or hesitating. We're gonna get killed doing that one day. Oh, look at this. Oh. Is this gonna reveal a passage below? It's gonna reveal a bunch of rats. Alright, we'll go stomp some rats. I hope Patches isn't on a higher floor waiting to send this elevator down on me. That would... that'd be a funny way to die. There's no bonfire in this game, so that would just be it. What a weird little trap down there. A bunch of rats stuck under a platform waiting to jump you. Alright, video game, you do you. This little fire here will serve as a camp, nope, a checkpoint for us. Oh, I'm unwell. I guess that pop-up is, if anything, is going to stop us from being a lycanthrope or werewolf or what have you. Okay. This area just feels familiar, which is why I mentioned the checkpoint thing. I get the feeling, yeah, you see how there's a lever to discover here? Okay. I'm just gonna put this note that I clicked this one. Okay, let's climb up to the next little hallway corridor thing. Did something change here? I don't think so. It's just a long way up. I'm tripping. Yeah, this is the puzzle I was talking about. If we had not hit that lever, then I think some blue bars would be stopping our entrance here. Yeah, so now we have just one option. This is obviously the place we're trying to get to, right? All the other corridors are blocked off for this hub room. And so we just go down the only option we have and see what we see. This has potential to be a kind of frustrating part of the dungeon, so we'll see how we do. I seem to recall that if you just explore very thoroughly, and hit every lever once. Whenever you find it, you get through it without much complication. So there's a wraith at the end of this hallway. I'm going to hit this lever. I'm going to mark that I hit that lever. Clicked. Let's go see what's going on. Yeah, he's behind a wall down here too. So we're going to go down this side passage. I'm going to go ahead and call this elevator down, even though I don't plan on using it. I'm just so paranoid of these things. It'll also, like, if we don't call the elevator down, it's just gonna we're gonna hit our heads on it eventually. So let's go ahead and climb up. See where it takes us. Here's one. Is this the one I clicked previously? No, right? Yeah, no. Clicked. Okay, let's go ahead and hit this. Oh, dude. That gets me every time. Alright, we're gonna jump down, and I don't think that affected anything in this corridor. Like, the Wraith Gate isn't open after just that one. Yeah, no. Still worth checking after you touch a lever to go see what it might have impacted. Alright, what do we have next? Spider. Kill it before it paralyzes us, and another elevator shaft. Man, they went all out on this little elevator system. Yeah, I've always liked... I say this about so many main quest dungeons, but I've always liked Castle Sentinel's dungeon. Maybe I just like the dungeons. But that puzzle with like the hub area that we just found our way back to, it's really, really cool. You can use the notes in the game to make it a bit easier to keep track of. Like, this was our entrance, so we know that we don't want to go down here. I'm going to call this one 1 to Wraith. This one is 2-2 Wraith. And we're about to go down 3, which is over here. Yeah. I can't mark it yet because I haven't gone through the door yet. Okay. This helps us kind of keep track of... I think it's... I haven't done that before, but, you know, why not use the notes whenever you're thinking about it? The frustrating part about this dungeon, if you're, like, having to break the puzzles... the puzzle across multiple sessions, it can be hard to remember where you've been and things like that. Like right now, this feels kind of familiar. Oh, it's because the Wraith Gate is open now. It can be hard to remember where you've been. That's true of any dungeon. But with these kinds of lever shenanigan puzzles, that's still the case. And it's also hard to remember, like, have I touched this lever before? So if you've been overlooking the fact that you can... Oh man, I thought this gate would be open. That you can drop... Oh, he hit me with a silent spell. If you've been overlooking the fact that you can drop notes around in the game, then could have more difficulty here. Okay. Speaking of having difficulty here, I really thought that we would have access. I bet I missed something. Like, I found our way back to the hub room and then did not go further, but we can go further up, I think. Or did we come down from further up? Tricky. Yeah, we did come down from all the way up here. Is there an entrance? Okay, this was the entrance. That's the way down to the Wraith. That's the way down to the Wraith. That's the way down to the Wraith. Did I miss a lever? Okay, we haven't checked over in this corridor yet. And this looks like the Wraith lever. Clicked. There, come on. Come on, Wraith lever. But where does this passage go? Hup. Hup. It's locked. I'm guessing we would have to go fight the Wraith, and then this will be unlocked. Oh, you know, we need to equip our challenger straps to get our speed boost. I was already thinking about how fast we were going through all this, but yeah, we're kind of locked in after doing that lever too. Speaking of locked in, whenever we fight that sentinel, you know, I mean that lich, gonna have to get locked in. It's actually just gonna be bobbing and weaving and wiggling a mouse. It's nothing super complicated. Wow, what a drop. Oh, I think I remember. It's not time to fight the Wraith yet. That one area was blocked off because we need to use one of the other mini connections back to the hub area and then go through one of the open doors there. That's how I seem to recall it. It's just kind of trippy. Like, whenever you're climbing vertically like this for long enough, you can kind of believe that I'm walking on the ground right now, right? And approaching like a left turn. Yeah, it's disorienting. All right. I think I might have made some progress here. Press a couple more levers that I'd already found, and that opened up this corridor, which I guess I will label as 4. And we just need that to connect right here, which I think fighting the Wraith will lead to popping out of this hallway. You know, sometimes you'll play these dungeons and get, like, really, really lucky on the puzzles, and I guess that causes you to underestimate them in the future. Because it's not quite as straightforward as I was expecting, and I guess they shouldn't be if you want them to be a puzzle. A little bit more tinkering than what I was expecting. Thankfully, we moved pretty quickly, except for the these periods of traversal. Even jumping down can sometimes get stuck on the wall again. Okay, but where's the lever? Oh, here it is. Alright, you've been clicked, son. Clicked. What did that do? Okay, now we can go back down and fight the Wraith. I'm really hoping so. Come on now. Oh man, getting impatient. Want to just like jump down, but that's a little too risky. Getting stuck on the walls whenever I do it. All right, finally. Okay, I think we clicked the last one. Let's hope so. Clicked. There we go. Dude, I almost poked my head out to see like, oh, what's taking so long just to get killed by the elevator? Just gotta hold, trust the process. Here we go, doing the weird thing where it looks like I'm walking down a corridor again. Oh, this one turns left also. Okay, well, we're gonna go back and rest just one more time. Is this it? Yeah. We've come close to breaking our legs like 4 times today. Oh, dude, look at that. We got this is such a good timing on the level up. Okay, speed, luck, willpower. Yeah, let's just pump willpower a little bit, why don't we? That'll be cute. We got a nice little orcish level up from pounding all of them into mincemeat. I didn't even consider that we could stop and try to talk to them. Just playing Doom, you know me. Should be around any of these corners here. Oh, this is a pretty cool room. As a chalice, some sort of hourglass. Oh, it looks like somebody in the dungeon found me stealing. Rogue just died. That's cute. It spawns people to chase after you whenever you take their stuff. Okay, that sounds like him. I remember this being pretty tough for my last character, so we want to resist shock. We want to resist fire. And if I have any magic resist, I don't even know if such a potion exists, but that would be great. It'd be a bonus to willpower. Oh, he's gonna have a horde of skeletons with him. Yeah, short shirt of iron will, but that replaces my Torgo straps. What does the helmet do? The helmet... I don't remember. Do they both boost will or something? I honestly don't know what the helmet's doing. But I think our speed will help us more than our willpower. I could be wrong, though. Trying to fight past the skeletal horde. Alright, we saved against spell. Wow. What is this magical effect that I'm getting from the hat? Okay, he hit me pretty hard right there. Man, it's so hard to... Oh, we got him. Alright. Well, great. I was just thinking about how hard it would be to try to do an Ironman run without a huge HP pool. And maybe that's why my most successful characters are just those that don't die. Alrighty, well this is like 2 huge major quests done in one episode, so that feels pretty cool. Of course, getting out of the dungeon is no small thing. Okay, I could be overly optimistic, but it looks like we're kind of close to the exit here, because we obviously want to go back to like Queen Akarithi's area, which will be done through this long corridor, which is just above us, just out of reach. We are down here, so we're going to need to go up this here ramp, which will lead us to that ramp, and I believe it's over in this block, yeah, where we will zigzag our way back up. So let's start by knowing which way to go here. Yep. It's funny how the King's Soul, even though he was like a Lich, he just looks like a regular dude over there. Pretty cute. Maybe this was him before he became all corrupted and such. Do you think the Liches and the undead in general in these games, do they follow the same kind of... Oh, look. Is it that simple? Wow, this could be such a quick dungeon if you know where you're going. Yeah, you just turn right up here. Yeah, do you think the Liches and undead, they follow the same rules as what's implied in other, like, media? Like, do they have phylacteries, or, you know, this is what you in Harry Potter would call a Horcrux, you know, something that their soul is in. And are soul gems like a primitive version, or like an undeveloped version of the phylactery or the Horcrux? But it seems to have a similar principle, but like if you capture the soul of a rat, that rat's dead, you know. It's a pretty critical difference. It's like you're harvesting the soul on its death for a soul trap, and you're preserving the soul and its body or something like that, or a body with the phylactery. Just something to think about. We've been I've been thinking a lot with the help of David from the comments of what the overall organization and structure of undead is like in the Iliac Bay, because even though there are random dungeons that produce random chances of like random vampires that you'll run into and such, you can't help but think about what undead legions are at their command, what their ultimate goals are. And whenever I think of like Liches in particular, I think, is this guy, I guess he would be a friend, not necessarily a friend, but like a colleague of the King of Worms. How much are they in communication with each other? I guess obviously this guy was a bit of a target for the King of Worms, but what about the other Liches and ancient Liches? Are they there by the grace of the King of Worms, or are they doing their own thing, just waiting for the day that the King of Worms comes to collect his soul? You know what I mean? There's very little, I think, in the terms of like lore given about this subject, and that's where I think we have an opportunity to make up our own BS and see what sounds cool, you know? Um, I'm just making a pit stop in this tavern to get my bearings and think about what to do next. I guess we'll just get food. That much is a given. Do we have shoes? Yeah, we have shoes again. The challenger straps with the, I don't know, something about it is so goofy with the pants. But we're done with those. We'll take them off for now. You know, I was thinking about sticking around in that dungeon for longer to see what other, like, treasure I could find. But you know, we already have quite a lot of treasure that we're just sitting on for now, waiting to liquidate. And it makes me think, like, what would that treasure be getting us to, you know? In Magic the Gathering, you say, like, you ramp into, like, strong spells, you get things to produce mana to have more mana later on. But if you don't have a big spell to cast, what are you ramping into? And if we don't have a bunch of stuff to buy, what are we selling for, you know? We recently got our gauntlet upgrade. I think we can chill before our next upgrade. We'll at least scout out the price of how much the adamantium is going to cost. I forgot about the orcish right pauldron. Okay, I think we have all the survival needs met in order to go to the mountains. No, we need some formal cloaks, don't we? There's one, but it's worn. What time is it? It's 7 a.m., so we're just going to loiter for a couple of hours, and then we'll go hit the shops. Okay, it says, I think it wants me to wear a cloak here. Yep. Oh yeah, do we have our horse nearby? I seem to recall not seeing my sugar lumps in my inventory. I don't know what keeps happening to my sugar lumps, but I am pissed. Like, I swear I'm not just throwing I'm not just throwing my sugar lumps away, right? Do they disappear whenever you get too far from, like, your horse? It's like, oh man, I'm so far from all the towns. Where are my sugar lumps? Poor forgetful Bogard. This is ASMR. Listen to Bogard's footsteps on the terrain. Is my game audio even turned up enough for y'all to hear that? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, we have not done very much city adventuring in a while. Who am I kidding? We just did like 6 episodes of city adventuring. We haven't done any robberies, is what I've been thinking. Like, it would be cool to find a place to hit up again. And, you know, we do kind of have a bone to pick with Wayrest, but what are we ramping into? If we go and get a bunch of more money, what are we ramping into, you know? So, yeah, I think we'll need to identify how much adamantium gauntlets would cost us, and then kind of see how much money we could get by selling everything we have, all the jewelry, the orcish pauldron, and things like that. Yeah, it's nice doing some housekeeping like this. Potion of Cure Disease. No, we're good. We're good. Oh yeah, I bought the new sugar lumps, so now we can just, yoink. My queen approaches me. Okay. Still getting dizzy from the heat. I guess we take our pants off. I love that that's a reasonable thing to do in some societies. Not in these United States, but in Sentinel, if it's too hot, just take your pants off, buddy. We won't judge you. Little does Bogard know that everyone's looking at him weird, riding through town, pantsless on his horse. Poor oblivious Bogard. Yeah, I think whenever we were traveling previously, I've not been doing a very good job of consolidating my housekeeping with our quests and things like that. So, you know, we traveled directly to Dragontail Mountains without checking on the status of our cloaks, certain potions, and things like that. So we're going to hope to do a little bit better this time. Oh, Potion of Resist Frost could help us in the mountains. I've been trying to consolidate a lot of my in real life, my IRL travels. The errands IRL also. It's what we do in Sentinel, but that's because Sentinel is an RPG, and RPGs, like most media, they try to reflect real life in a way. Let's grab some of these arrows. I forgot to see the status of this shop whenever I came in. Anyway, remind me to tell you that whenever I took a trip to the Fort Worth area, specifically Fort Worth and not Dallas Fort Worth or anything like that, we directly to Fort Worth. I don't go there often, but I found a little rock climbing gym. I'll tell you all about the rock climbing gym here in just a minute. Just want to make sure I have all the potions I need and get a good offer on this pauldron. The armory that we just passed up, it had sturdy shelves and things like that, so it's more humble than what we were looking for. This place is worse though, right? Wait, it's not the slightest defect can be detected on any item within. Alright, well, let's see what he would offer. 27,000. We don't need to sell it right now, so let's see what kind of offers we get. You know, I guess I should press the actual sell button. It's 25,000. He'll give me 11,500. And this fellow will give me 8,000. So even though the displayed amount over here is higher, the offer itself was 3,000 lower. That's interesting. Yeah. You know, the thing is, the Orcish Rite Pauldron, man, it weighs just 2 kilograms, and the money I would get for it is way heavier. So, we're gonna hold on to it. That seems to be the thing to do. You know, it could look kind of cool. Maybe, I don't know, what do y'all think? Do we just treat our right hand as our haymaker? I've always liked the idea of a hand-to-hand warrior who has a shield in one hand and a fist in the other. Now, I don't think that's possible in Daggerfall, but this would be an ideal setup for it. Just like the pauldron on just one arm. I'm down. I'm trying to think of other games where that's possible. I think you can do it in Skyrim, you know, especially if you pack the gloves of the pugilist to go with everything. Yeah, I think I'll wear the pauldron for a second. Why not? You know, we don't need the money, so why not have some bling? On the one hand, I'm like, it feels like a less like a challenge run whenever one of his gimmicks is he doesn't wear armor except on his hands. But we're not doing it for the clout. We want to just beat the game, like beating the game without dying. It doesn't matter what kind of armor we wear or anything like that. I think we'll go back to just gauntlets eventually, but let's do this as like a stylistic choice for a second. I say that as I go to see what kind of offer I'll get. Still just 8,000. I guess I'm curious about what the ceiling on this kind of offer would be. Yeah, that 11,000 from the pawn shop was something we have not seen replicated among the armorers. Okay, dang it. I would really like one more fur cloak before we, or formal cloak, I should say, before we go to the mountains. We have a new one that we just bought, and yet our primary one that we've had is in the worn status, and so it's like, I don't want to go out into the mountains and have one of my cloaks break on me. Don't you hate when that happens, when your cloak just shatters whenever you try to put it on? That happens with me more often with like pants than cloaks, because I'll bend down just like a wee too far and oh no, there it goes. Yeah, okay, clothing shop is right here. All right, y'all. We got a new cloak. We have 2 new cloaks, actually. Those should do it for us. We're going to go ahead and get this show on the road. Oh, wait, hold on. Health. Okay, I'm healthy. All my stats are debuffed, I guess, because of the heat. I want to check my affiliations. Like, it looks like my guild rankings might be decaying some here. But do I care about that right now? Like, they're in the 40s. That's pretty good. We might get an upgrade soon. Maybe we should just take a Thieves Guild quest. But, you know, I don't want to be carrying this guy's soul around with me forever. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and fast travel to the old Scourge Barrow. Let's travel cautiously. That's fine. Okay, we reached a new location, so we're dropping our moldy meat. It's kind of a ritual. But yeah, the climbing gym that I went to in Fort Worth, it's not one that I've been to before, but I'm doing that thing like I do in Daggerfall. Well, it's like, you know, I'm passing through Sentinel, so what kind of errands can we take up while we're there? What can we fill our time with, since we're already spending all the time and the money to travel out there, all the resources? So I found the climbing gym. I went there and found out that it's opened up just like last December. So it's been this gym has not existed for even a year yet. Evidently, it used to be like a Family Dollar, so it's a very small building. So it's specifically bouldering. I got there and I was like, well, I need my my harness for this gym. I'm wondering as I'm like getting my stuff ready. And then I get there and I see that like it's like a tiny little building, and I'm like, okay, well, guess I won't be needing that. But it was actually, excuse me, a really cool spot. And hold up. So we're turning in the soul to King of Worms. He says, well done, Bogard. I am sure the prince will be most cooperative. Please accept this long shirt as a token of my appreciation. In addition, I have decided that it is time for someone outside of Tiber Septim's line to know the truth about the Underking. As you know, Tiber Septim was the first emperor of Tamriel. Toward the end of his life of wars and conquests, he betrayed his battle mage Zurin Arctis. When Zurin died, his soul refused to leave his body, something to do with the mysterious Numidium. Since that time, Zurin Arctis has lived on as the Underking. The Underking and his agents have been a thorn in my side for centuries. Just remember, should the Underking regain his mortal body, he would surely throw all of Tamriel into conflict. And we, of course, know that King of Worms is a fair, unbiased party, and he stands nothing to gain by having people make enemies of the Underking. So I'm sure he's telling the complete truth here. King of Worms is a stand-up guy. We should trust him in this. If nothing else, we get the cool little long shirt out of it. We'll have to identify that at some point. That's like a kind of swashbuckling shirt right there. Okay, it does not give me any static boost, it seems like. So we will identify it and sell it. But yeah, oh, look at all these bats. Gosh. Out of my way. I guess I could make a dinner of them. That would be a nice way to kind of unwind. We'll just get one, because we know what happens whenever we travel with a bunch of cooked meat. I can't help but feel like I took the wrong path here. So the bouldering gym was small. I met the owner as soon as I walked through the door. And yeah, they just do a lot of stuff themselves. They make a lot of the decorations, they laser cut into wood. But what was most impressive to me was that they make their volumes, and like a volume is a sort of protrusion that comes off of the wall but isn't quite a foothold. You can picture it being like, if you're watching the screen right now as I'm climbing this wall, you see how there's like a little diagonal that I'm running into here? That's often what a volume is going to do on a rock climbing wall. It's going to create little protrusions and things that are fair game for a given route. And they add a lot of like dynamic options for how you should approach a route in a really, really cool way. So the fact that they make their own volumes is, I thought that was badass. Yeah, but it's like a cute family-owned business where the owners are a retired married couple, and their son is one of the route setters. So it was cool just going there on a random. I went there on a Tuesday. I took Monday and Tuesday off of this week, so I was just chilling there on a Tuesday morning, talking all about this the lore of this building this business that I only just now encountered. Yeah, it was really fun. One of the routes involved 2 volumes that were placed very closely to each other, and in order to get enough friction to traverse horizontally properly, you had to stick your arm all the way up to its elbow in there and apply pressure from like both sides if you could. Really interesting stuff, which was possible due in no small part to their homemade routes, or homemade volumes, I should say. Really cool place. Oh, I guess I could mention, it's called, I think, The Block, B-L-O-K. I don't think anybody in my channel is like in the Dallas-Fort Worth area as far as I know, but if you are, you know, why not check them out? Why not plug the local business while we're talking about this game? Yeah, so the question of what to do next. We've turned in the quest. Excuse me. We have 2 main quest destinations, and they're actually fairly close to each other. We have in the Isle of Balfiera, Direni Tower. Yep. And so that's an option for us. But we also have the Tomb of Lysandus over here in the Menevia region. Menevia. I believe it will be in our best interest to start in the Isle of Balfiera. I think we need to go talk to Medora Direni before we go to Lysandus' tomb. And to kind of lead up to that moment, I'm just going to travel to Kulununu. I don't know how they want me to pronounce this, bro. Kalununu. The idea is to be on the coast in this cool tropical region at the outset of these 2 main quest destinations that I want to reach. Maybe we'll do some questing for the Fighters Guild and Thieves Guild while we're here. Oh, dude, I'm unwell and might not survive the travel. Okay, most likely I picked up a disease from one of the bats. Yeah. Oh, you know, I was about to fast travel without my horse, and then we would have had to think up a new title for Queen of Kent. Oh! Didn't mean to jump down, but I guess we have enough HP that it's fine. Yeah. We're gonna operate out of Laneland for a while, province of Laneland, at Kulununu. Alright. I forgot to unequip a magic item, it sounds like. What am I wearing that's magical? I don't understand. It sounds like I have a buff going on. It looks like there's a buff up there. What am I missing, guys? I don't know. I think I have all my stuff unequipped. Is it the helmet? I think it's the helmet. Yeah, it's the helmet, but I don't remember what it's doing. If I take it off, yeah. I don't remember what it does. We should put on pants, I guess. Let's take a look at our temperature. It's a mild and foggy fall morning. Oh, dude. Fall is such a good relief once you've dealt with such a brutal summer. Yeah, let's put on just our pants and go around shirtless. Put on some shoes. Yeah, look at the beautiful design. Of course, I feel like I'm exaggerating this because it looks almost very much the same in every other province, but the way the stonework looks different in the tropical regions and just the overall aesthetic of it, it makes this section of the map feel so special to me. Okay, without further delay, we're going to figure out where the Fighters Guild, and we should do Mages Guild to get some identification going on too. Okay. She hates us. So I've been reading the Brothers Karamazov and things like that while sitting on the couch in the living room while my wife plays Horizon Zero Dawn. Because you could probably tell those who are watching this as I upload it that I haven't felt very interested in playing video games lately, so I'm just playing this kind of sporadically. But it's really cool to hear. She's played the game once. She's replaying it, and she's doing some tweaks with the HUD and the difficulty setting to make it more challenging and immersive, and playing with this huge clunky headset, or my gaming headset on. And I'm like, you know what, man? Good for you. I'm really glad that she's playing one of her favorite games in a new and interesting way. You know, I wasn't expecting to see this development in her at all, and it's like so cool, man. Yeah, Thieves Guild, Fighters Guild. Okay, yeah, we're gonna pick up some quests here. You know, we might as well enjoy some of the rooftops while we're new in town. Get a feel for what the town is like. Yeah, the chapters I just read in I actually took the Brothers Karamazov with me to the climbing gym because I'm really trying to break the habit of doom scrolling. And normally, like, if you don't go with friends or you don't meet anybody at the climbing gym, between sets or between routes, between attempts, that sort of thing, you'll just take out your phone and doom scroll for a bit or get caught up on texts and things like that. I'm really trying to fight my brain's impulse to do that. And so I brought the Brothers Karamazov with me, and I read a chapter called The Grand Inquisitor, which is all about Ivan's, one of the brothers' beefs with God. And he's the same guy who compared Christianity to socialism in a previous chapter. And his main beef with God, of course, comes down to the notion of human suffering, especially as it applies to like children and other innocent factions like that. And it was so hard to follow because, like, they don't... In Russian literature, you don't run into a lot of paragraph breaks whenever just one speaker is talking. And in this chapter, The Grand Inquisitor, Ivan is talking all about a hypothetical situation where Christ returns to Earth just for one day in this village where he will be called a false prophet and the priest will burn him at the stake the next day. So there's like a conversation going on. There's a speaker even within this speech, and you don't get a paragraph break. And it's like, I'm trying to just barely pay attention to it while I'm climbing between sets. Like, I'm giving my full attention to it, but it's broken up is what I mean. So kind of biting off more than I could chew there. Another option is to not limit myself to just one book. Like, I've always been like, if I don't read this one book, I'm never going to finish it. If I don't play this one video game, I'm never going to finish it. But the sheer effort and devotion of time required by some literature sets it apart from something that's like Narnia or some young adult book that you could just read for entertainment all of a sudden. Which is what I did the other day. I wasn't feeling up to the task of reading Brothers Karamazov, so I finished reading The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe for the first time. Solid book. Looking forward to reading it with Hudson one day. Okay, I should just get back to the game for a second. We strolled up to the Fighters Guild. Talking to the guildmaster, he says, "Congratulations, Bogard, because of your outstanding weaponry prowess. We have promoted you to the rank of swordsman in the guild. You can keep the sword, buddy. Among other benefits, this increase means cheaper weapon repair and more profitable work assignments." All right, well, what do you got for me, bud? Let's see. You've got a few days free. We want some giant killing to be done. And I thought of you. Okay, I'm under the impression that we just unlocked a new group of quests. We're going to see if we can find one that we have not engaged in. I know I've only failed that quest before, but let's see what else we can see. "I hope you're not afraid of the dark, Bogard Masterton. Some necromancer is raising hordes of zombies and skeletons at the Clearsome. I don't know, you read that name and tell me how I could have pronounced it. That's a little weird. The Clearcombe, I said it. Dang it. At the cemetery. We have a contract to end this villain's life and put a stop to their evil deeds. Here's 570 gold. All right, that's one we haven't seen yet. Let's go to the cemetery and take care of it. We're gonna go to that cemetery after dark and slay zombies and skeletons in the graveyard outside until the necromancer is enraged enough to come out of hiding and face us. It will have 5 days to do it, and we'll get 570 gold. While we're here, we will sink some money into... Oh, hold on. Okay, I wanted to see if the repair guy could craft armor for us, because that would be cool. Okay, we're gonna get some training. I'm not sure in what. It seems like critical strike would be a pretty reasonable thing for us to do. I guess we can do some meta stuff and look at our character sheet. Hand to hand is very close to getting maxed out. Climbing is at 91. My goodness, that is awesome, Bogard. That is so cool. Running's at 73. Yeah, critical strike would be the rational thing to do, but no, let's get running. Come on, let's go for a run, sweet cheeks. Sorry, that phrase is outdated. I'm just excited about these calisthenic stats we're looking at. All right, well, thanks, man. Yeah, I apologize for my language. That's corny. I'm apologizing to her, not you, the viewer. Yeah, look at just the cute little textures of the walls inside of this Fighters Guild. Yeah, man, the tropical areas in Daggerfall, grade A vibes right there. So let's see where our quest destination takes us. Oh, are we right next to it? Dude, we're right next to it. What the hell? Yeah, let's do it. I was going to like do the thing where we pick up 2 quests from our respective guilds, and then it's like on the next episode. But why don't we just do that now? I'll go ahead and pick up the quest from the Thieves Guild. You know why we shouldn't do that now is that same stuff I was talking about previously, either in this episode or the last one, where every chapter has its natural crescendos and conclusions. And we've done 2 main quests and traveled to a new area, so even though it's nearby, I think it would behoove us to just get our quest and cut it short here. Now this Thieves Guild texture is actually really almost jarring. I don't want to say anything bad about my beloved tropical area, but I just wasn't expecting this mint green vaporwave building that I walked into here. Alright, good going, hotshot. We think you're ready to be a full-fledged robber in the Thieves Guild. From now on, if you want to know the newest scoop, talk to our spy master. We got ears all over the place. And now that you're a robber, so do you. Alright, yeah, I think this spy master is almost an impractical kind of reward, but I think it's like compared to the power level of rewards that you get from other guilds is what I mean. But it's really cool. He's the spy master. He knows everything that happens in the Iliac Bay. Others might give you rumors, but my rumors are always true. Yeah, they'll give you information that you ask about, and they won't have any like interference or like they'll know what's going on instead of saying I don't know, and they won't give you any, you know, misinformation. So I wonder if we can talk about regional. No, we can't ask him about the cemetery. It seems like. What's he say about the Underking? Oh, what? Hi there, the Underking. That's what I really want to know. Yous can now, yous can always count on me, Bogard. The Underking is the old bugbear of childhood stories, said to be. Sorry, he said use. It may be going to this Brooklyn thing. Is the bugbear of childhood stories, said to be the most powerful mage who ever lived. The stories go way back to the earliest years of the Septim Dynasty. No one, however, doubts the existence of those who call themselves as agents. The living and the animated dead who say they answer to the Underking are perhaps in the hundreds. Okay, so this says that the Underking has undead armies as well. This guy apparently speaks the truth, or he doesn't know that he's wrong, which is a real potentiality there. But this would kind of explain why Mannimarco has some, or I should say the King of Worms, has some enmity for the Underking. Not only is he another like important figure of power in the Iliac Bay, they're kind of fighting over resources, if you can call... you know, if humans are like grouped into human resources, then undead can be grouped into undead resources, right? I wonder what he has to say about my other factions and the other people in the Iliac Bay. It doesn't seem like I could just like ask him to tell me about King Gothrid or Queen Akarithi or anything like that. What about some news? The dirty bloodsuckers are running this place. Vampires, of course. I mean the vampire clans. Dude, why didn't you tell me this sooner? We should do something about it. I just killed a like ancient vampire. You know that, right? A couple of them, yeah. What about the Blades? They're a knightly order, all right, but unlike any other knightly order, which defines itself by its allegiance, the Blades' master is unknown. They are a completely enigmatic group. It's all over the Dark Brotherhood. What do you mean it's all over? Like they're talking about it? Yeah, what would you tell me about the Dark Brotherhood? They're more or less the official Assassin's Guild of Tamriel. Most kingdoms have declared them to be an illegal organization, but it's one thing to make a declaration. At least that's what the Thieves Guild says. Wait, the who now? Oh wait, no, we're in the Thieves Guild. That would be kind of silly. Okay. Can you tell me about Musham? Since it's that or slit your throat, wink and chuckle, it's that way. Just keep going southeast. Who's Musham and how did he get added to our topics here? Alright, so that's what the Spy Master's about, y'all. Buy items. Do we want any of these? Mark of the Guild? Pebbles of Skullduggery? I think the lockpicks could be helpful, but I don't remember how. Let's just buy it. We'll keep it there. I'm sure it gives us some sort of passive bonus. Did we get a quest from him yet? I don't think we did. Got a guild job for you if you're interested. Name is Rosti. Some guy wants a small statue lifted from the School of Julianos. Okay, man, I have robbed one too many temples in my day. Can you give that to someone else, please? Thank you. Oh there, Bogard. You remember me, Rosti? Are you up for a guild job today? I got one that seems right up your alley. Okay. Yeah, so this rich guy just got a painting that could fetch a nice price. He stashed it at the mastering residence in Nictum Hall. Bring it back and you get a guild fee of 1,024 gold pieces. Oh yeah, and it'll be within 9 days, please. All right. What was that place called? Nictum Hall. Okay, this one's a bit further away from the cemetery, but I think in our next episode, we're going to start off just by going directly to the cemetery and taking care of that. We'll go southward and see what we find on the way, and come back to turn in the quest after that. Yeah, thanks as always for enjoying this great game with me. I really appreciate it. I look forward to chatting with you in the comments section and to the next videos, all that fun stuff. Like, share, and subscribe, and have a good one.